Hello fellow Tamers, D-Dread on the mic in the place to be, and let me tell you, I've been gone for a minute guys. Brother got tonsillitis and it got right up in there. I tell you, take me out the back like old Yeller. Cause I was done. I couldn't do anything. It would knock me on my ass. But I'm back, penicillin, what a drug. And I'm back in the game and I'm ready to kind of present my ex-antibody deck profile. Alphamon, I mean, we've seen a lot of deck lists about, we know what this boy does, but you need a bit of Digidread spice in your life. So in this video, I'm going to break down my ratios, my tech and all that good stuff and the decisions on why I've actually incorporated the cards in this build, as well as what I'm overall thinking to this deck. Because in my initial thoughts, that I wasn't going to play Alphamon, but it seemed like the gods chose me to play this deck because pretty much got all the cards that needed to actually run it. So if this is the video for you, stick around, enjoy, grab yourself a drink. You know how we do, we pour one for the homies. Gorgeous. And if you're new to the channel and you like what you see, make sure you subscribe and tap the notification bell, because I do videos on the reg when I've not got tonsillitis. So let's just dive straight in here, because the ratios are standard for ex-antibody Alphamon deck is pretty low in terms of the rookie lineup. It's very unconventional in how many rookies you got, but we've got so many search tools, you don't really need that many. So starting off obviously with one of our prime rookies that ideally you want in hand. You have one in hand, you have one in raising, or obviously if you want to search for repeaters, you can be searching for those pieces, because on play reveal top 3, add one card with ex-antibody in its traits, and then add one card which contains Coda Demoda, which obviously is going to be your memory fixer, and then place the rest in the bottom of your deck in any order. So really good card right here, just in order for you to get those pieces. And that's what the whole premise of Alphamon is, just kind of get those pieces in order for you to clap them cheeks when you go into Alphamon Ouryuken mode right there. So another good thing obviously with this Digimon is going to be your inheritable once per turn. When one of your effects places a Digivolution card underneath this Digimon, gain 1 memory, which is just beautiful. It's exactly what you want, gaining that memory in order for you to execute more plays. So we do run that at 4, definitely should not be running that any less. It's a card that you want to be seeing. Then we go into Ryudamon. This card, the inheritable sucks ass. I ain't gonna lie to you, sucks so much ass, but the on-play is pretty sweet. Similar to Doraemon, it reveals top 3, able to pick one card of ex-antibody in its trait, and then you're able to get a UG as well, and then place the rest in any order at the bottom of your deck. So really good to get UG. UG is pretty much a key card in order for you to achieve that OTK spice that really just makes this deck shine. All is good. And I'm not even going to bother reading out the inheritable, because Decoy, I don't know when that's been popping. That's not been popping at all. So yeah, run that at 3. And then last in the rookie lineup, we do run the new Dorumon, and this, it just enables you to kind of set up those plays for future plays when you're kind of going into your Alphamon and going into Ouryuken mode, because on play, able to trash 1 card with ex-antibody in its traits and then draw 2. Draw 2 is powerful right there. That could be the defining factor of you getting your pieces and ready to clap those cheeks, and you just setting up obviously future plays, which is just fantastic. So we do run that at 2. You could probably bump up to 3 if you do want to switch the ratios, but I do find that Ryudamon is quite nice in terms of getting your UG in your hand. So that goes for the rookie lineup, looking at 9 rookies, which is a little bit low, but like I say, we do have amazing search tools in order for you to get these pieces. So rocking on to the champions, I mean, we're rocking 8 here, and these are the only 2 that you kind of need. And this is obviously going to be your Dorogoromon, which is just great. Opponent's turn, whilst you have another Digimon in play with ex-antibody in its traits, or it's basically a card illustrating its distribution cards, then this gains blocker. Obviously, we're running an extended body deck. It's going to be gaining that blocker when you stack on, which is just great for, you know, stopping the kind of the rookie rush kind of lineup going on. Granted, it is 5k, so if you are versing armors, they can pretty much just hard crash into it, which isn't great. Obviously, they would just armor purge and you'd be hitting the rash, which is just not good. But it does mean that the, you know, it's enables in inheritable wise, and this is all turns, whilst this Digimon has its antibody in its traits, it gains 1000 DP, which is powerful. All turns is a really, really good effect right here. It just means that your Alphamon or your Ouryuken mode is going to be kind of safe, so they can't essentially get crashed or hit over. But to be honest, Ouryuken mode at 16k, I mean, you're going to be swinging for that big red energy damage right there. That's all I'm saying. So we do run that at 4, and then we do run the X antibody version, which is going to just be perfect for you to kind of execute the plays, whilst obviously fueling up the trash there as well, because this can evolve on top of your Dorugoromon, which is sweet for the cost of 0. And then when digivolving, you're able to trash a 1 card with Dex or Def X in its name or X antibody in its traits and gain 1 memory. So you ultimately, you're gaining that memory. That tag teams up beautifully with your cool boy. You're just getting the maximum worth. And then when digivolving, if this card has Dorugoromon in its distribution cards, then you're able to obviously trash that 1, and it gains blocker and retaliation until the end of your opponent's turn. So just making sure that your Alphamon is just like, if you're going to get rid of it, if you're going to try and hard crash into it, you better be prepared to lose that Digimon, because when blocker and retaliation's involved, yeah, it's going to get messy. So really quite a crucial card in order for you to execute your cool boy plays, in order for you to gain that memory and also draw cards in order for you to confirm victory when you go into your ultimates. So speaking of ultimates, we're actually running a bit of a hefty package here, but I'll explain the reason why and how it kind of works together in this particular build. So as standard, you want to be running 4 of your Dorugreymon. Dorugreymon is so powerful, you wouldn't even believe. So when digivolving, you may place 1 black card with X antibody in its traits from your hand to the bottom of this distribution card to prevent deletion effects or DP reduction until the end of your opponent's next turn. Really powerful, absolutely strong right here. The fact that you can kind of set up your OTK condition is beautiful. If you do have a Ouryuken, it's going to be just great, just kind of setting up for that play for your Alphamon to do the multi-swings, or put something else underneath if you don't have that card right there, just to get a really strong inheritable. And then this guy's inheritable grants you an additional security attack if you have a Digimon with X antibody in his traits. Beautiful. This is definitely one of the win conditions right here. You want this running at 4 for sure. Then you're probably thinking, why I got this mofo at 2? And this guy right here, 1, I love the art. I think it's an absolutely beautiful card, and this really helps in terms of kind of a high roll situation if you just need to kind of find where the hell your Alphamons are at, because you know your Alphamons either might be a few in your stack in security, or you may have to really dig deep. And this Digimon kind of helps with that, and kind of helps with setting up future plays as well, especially when you are going to the Alphamons. Because when you Digivolve, you're able to reveal the top 3 cards of your deck. Add 1 card with Alphamon in its name amongst them to your hand, and then place 1 card with X antibody in its traits among them underneath this card, and then you can trash the remaining. Very powerful stuff right here. The reason why is because depending on what cards you actually do draw, ideal scenario would be essentially you getting Alphamon, Ouryuken, and then your another Dorugreymon. What you can do is obviously you pick the Alphamon by default, you slide your Dorugreymon underneath, and obviously that triggers all the inheritables right there, and then you could put Ouryuken in trash, setting up for your Alphamon play, which is just going to be fantastic. You're going to ensure that you're going to then get Ouryuken from your trash underneath. you've got the maximum worth. You've got the maximum worth. You've turned a situation where you may have not had Alphamon into a situation where you've got Alphamon, you've got all your pieces, let's go get it. And we're all about getting it. We want to get a slice of the winning pie. So I do run this at 2, just because once again, it's really good for essentially your trash target as well, because the inheritable is sweet and it's good for controlling the board state, especially when you are versing off with armors, because end of attack, and this is not once per turn, and Alphamon is all about that multi-swinging goodness, is that if a Digimon has Alphamon in its name, delete one of your opponent's Digimon with a play cost of 5 or less. Versing armors, this is absolute poison. This is literally playing down that rat poison down, and you just absolutely just stripping off the armor. You swing again, you actually killing off their rookie, and you can really just control the field in combination with using Alphamon's ability to essentially de-digivolve there as well, depending on obviously what stage you're at, could really just mess up their strat and their next turn. So I do really like Grademon. I think he's an absolutely good card. You can obviously run him at 1. I think a lot of builds do run him at 1. I do like it at 2, just more personal preference. I really do love the alt art. It's absolutely a stunning card, so I do run that too. And then you go into your free Dex Doru Greymon, really powerful card as well. This helps you if, say, you missed out on your champion version of this Digimon to use the effect of Cool Boy. This kind of gives you that second chance, because you're able to Digivolve for the cost of 1 off Doru Greymon, which is just great. And then when Digivolving, you're able to trash 1 card, similar to the champion version, and then gain that 1 memory, which is just helpful. So basically, you've pretty much Digivolved for 0, but you have also effectively set up your trash for the OTK play. Then when Digivolving, if this card has Doru Greymon in the Digivolution cards, or is Digivolving from the trash, delete one of your opponent's level 4 Digimon or lower, which is just good. Once again, that nice bit of control, which is fantastic. So we do run that at 3. You could knock it down to 2 if you want to, but ideally you do kind of want this kind of combo going on, because it can really set up the plays beautifully for you. Then let's go on to the ultimates, because the ultimates are, not the ultimates, the megas. Wow, we've already done the ultimates. Let's move on. So the megas are pretty much key, pretty much staple to the strat. Ouryuken, Ouryuken, you know what I'm saying. But this guy ideally is one of those cards that is either good in hand or good in trash, and it really depends on the board state that you've got going on. If you've got UGs out on the field, nicely established, then this is pretty okay in your hand. If you've not got UG out on the field, which is usually pretty odd if you don't, then having them in trash for your Alphamon play is pretty spicy, and ensuring you that you're going to be doing some multi-swinging action, because you're not really going to evo into him from your hand. Probably give that a swerve, but obviously if you do have to, then do it, but it's definitely not the optimal play. So we're going to just fly straight over to the inheritable, which is obviously the key thing, is enable you to unsuspend your Alphamon, which is exactly what you want to confirm those OTK plays. And obviously with the sequence of you multi-swinging, you've got to time your UGs right. You got to time that UGs right. You could be swinging for days, but if you slightly slip on the UG execution, you will miss the, you either will miss the actual the end of attack effect, because maybe you've stacked like two of these in the same turn. You've missed it. You can't just activate one, restand, swing it again, and activate this one. No, you would have missed it. You have to do, essentially, if you do have Ouryuken underneath, you swing first, you don't activate the UG, you unsuspend, then you swing again, then you activate the UG, then you slide another one underneath, and that's how you get the multi-swing action. So I don't want to catch my brethren slipping. I don't want to catch them slipping. So yeah, just be careful obviously with the execution, but a really powerful card that you should definitely be running free of. Could run 4, but I find that probably a little bit clunky, like, in your hand. You just don't want too many of these in your hand right there. Then we go on to the main spies, and this boy just looks like he has stepped into the function. He just like looking fresh to death. Boys arrived fashionably late, but he knows he can just rewind that time, so he's absolutely fine. He's like, yo, what good? But with this Digimon, really powerful card right here. Absolutely spicy, because it just overall works with the whole mechanic of what Alphamon's doing. Effectively, in a way, you have two forms of hands. You've got your trash hand, which this is going to utilize, and then obviously you got your main hand, which Yuji is going to utilize. It's really good in terms of the resource of the plays that you can kind of execute through everything of this deck. So when digivolving, place one card with X antibody in its traits from your trash at the bottom of this Digimon's Digivolution card. So ideally, the ideal scenario is having Ouryuken in trash, slide underneath, you're ready to start clapping those cheeks. Also, it does enable you to kind of think of alternative routes. If you do have obviously a great tamer establishment, you can slide something else underneath there as well. And this is why I like having the Grademon in trash as well, because I can just slide that in. If I comfortably know that I've got ways to execute multi-swings through Yuji, and I don't necessarily have to get the Ouryuken from trash, then I can go to the next best option. It's either going to be my Doru Greymon or my Grademon, which is just really good. Then, in combination of triggering that effect, your turn, once per turn, may I add, which is actually quite strong, you're able to basically de-digivolve one of your opponent's Digimon. So say if you can't go into Ouryuken mode, which obviously is a little bit risky, but we know we got breath for that. We got breath to kind of keep this boy alive, and we do have the effect of Doru Greymon, which is going to be keeping you pretty strong on the battlefield. Effectively, you can be de-digivolving once per turn, as long as you're swinging and you can slide some underneath. That's where Yuji comes in. You can trigger this effect, which enables you to de-digivolve one of your opponent's card. Obviously, tag team that up with your Grademon. If you've de-digivolved, say, an Ultimate and they've gone to Champion, and they've got a play cost of 5 or lower, Grademon will just sweep that up because it's end of attack. And obviously, that is not once per turn. So it can actively just keep sweeping the cards based on Grademon's ability, but this obviously is just once per turn. But once again, really strong. Gets rid of menacing threats like your Magnum X, which can really just halt the plays and actually would kind of hard crash into this. Like you won't be able to swing over. Granted, if you do have obviously your other Digimon underneath, obviously your champion level X antibody, that can kind of give it an additional K, which obviously then could swing over it and so forth. But it will prevent that whole recovery aspect from your Magnum X. And just other menacing threats like your Malga X. Nah, son, you ain't blocking. Shh. You are gone, son. Boom. Digivolve. Happy days. So, really, really good staple card. Absolutely fantastic. Love the all art. Absolutely just walking into the function. Like, he knows what's going down. He knows what's going down. And it's your Digivolution sources. That's what's going down. So, we do run that at 3. Don't see many lists running that at 4. But think 3 is just enough. And then the main chess piece, we already know what it is. You got your Alphamon Ouryuken mode, which is just a majestic card. One of the biggest DP thresholds we've seen in a while. Which really just kind of stops a lot of plays if you've not got jamming. It can cancel your play right there. With this, you are able to digivolve on top of an Alphamon with Ouryuken mode, with Ouryumon in its digivolution cards for free. So that's actually quite an important condition there, because if you don't have that underneath, then you can't evo into that for free. It will cost you 7. so think about that when you are building up that stack right there. So definitely a key thing. And then when digivolving, you're able to delete all of your opponent's Digimon with the highest play cost, which is pretty devastating. But at the end of your turn, so it's not the end of attack, it's literally the end of your turn. So if you do evo into this and you go over by 3, then that's when you do the end of turn, and you're able to return up to 7 non-Digi egg cards with X antibody in their traits, from the Digimon's digital resource, and then gain 1 for each one returned, which just, you could just literally control what you want to return and how much memory you actually want to receive, which is very, very massive. It's a crucial play, because essentially you could set up plays in order for this mon to not die if you can't finish the dinner, which is beautiful. It's exactly what you want. It's clapping through. If you obviously rewind time, you've deleted all their, pretty much all their board, then you just kind of go on swinging. That's the whole thing. Just yeet, 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 yeet. You're just cutting through. You're just absolutely cleaving through. It's ridiculous. It's actually ridiculous how strong this Digimon is. And you want to be running that at 3. If you run it at 2, I feel like it's probably a bit risky. There's been times where I've actually had 2 of them in my security. So finding the 1 out of 60 cards, or technically 58 cards, is, yeah, a little bit wounding. You kind of got to go in with your Alphamon and hopefully it will clean up. But that's how it goes for your Digimon lineup. So going on to the options and Tamers, we're going to have run Breath of the Gods at 2. I feel like this is quite a really good card because, 1, it actually stops the aggression if it is procced in security, which is good because there's a lot of decks that can just literally chew through your whole deck. Like chew through, well, not chew through your whole deck, chew through your own security just by multi-swinging. Melgarex is definitely infamous for doing that. But another good thing with this, it just obviously, if you apply it onto your Digimon, it's a good turn ender because it costs 2 memory, and it gives your Digimon reboot, so after the swing can restand, fantastic. And then this Digimon can't be bounced or have its DP reduced to the end of the opponent's turn, which there's a lot of bouncing in this meta, so really good that we do have that, have this card that can kind of support that, especially if you tag it up with your Dora Greymon, throw that onto it. It's pretty much just, it's just can't be removed at all. It can't be cancelled. It's cancelled proof. It's just like that's what it should be called. Breath of the cancel proof, or just cancel proof. Boom, done. So we do run that at 2. We run 2 Kongos. Really good card here. This has saved me a fair few times because until the end of your opponent's turn, your opponent's Digimon with a play cost of 7 or less can't attack players. We just really halts kind of like your Malgarex. It halts your Armor Rush completely, unless they kind of go into a level 5 like Shikuyamon or Pyoldramon, or go into their Magnum X. Obviously with Malgarex, it forces them to go into the X antibody version, which then is kind of lost its whole kind of multi-swing purpose in that sense. So it does help pretty. Well, it helps a lot. Let's just face it does help a lot. And then cards can't be added to the security stack by the opponent's effects. Beautiful. This is obviously for like your yellow players. Nah, son, I ain't got time for your recovery. Not today. Not today. Cancelled. So we do run that at 2. Really powerful card. And then we run obviously the 2 black memory boosts just for that kind of consistency, banking up that memory if you do have to go into your essentially your Greymon, if you're forced to use Greymon in evil results, and it happens sometimes, you just don't get the pieces that you need. It really helps to kind of secure you have enough memory to go into your Alphamon to then get you Ouryuken underneath the Source, which is going to be good. And yeah, all that good stuff. So definitely a good card right here. That consistency is key. Again, that 2 memory is key. Run that at 2. So going on to the Tamers, we do run 2 Kodo Domodo, which Kodo is a really good memory tamer, really solid. It just keeps you from being choked, and especially in this deck build in particular, we do want to kind of, it's nice to have being at 3. Comfortably being at 3, especially if you got this and some UG establishment there as well. If obviously you just push up, boom, get two memory, draw 2, bang. But on play, you're able to reel top 4, which is great. It means that you can just dig a little bit deeper and add 1 card with X antibody in its traits, which is beautiful. Exactly what you need. And we do run that at 2. You could probably knock it down to 1, but I feel like 2 is just great for me and my playstyle. Then we do run Yuji at 3. I feel like this is a very good level. I don't struggle to see this boy's face at all. If anything, sometimes I've seen him a bit too much. But with Yuji is pretty much key for your multi-swinging capabilities for you to kind of top draw a lot of your cards when you do come out of that raising and gain that memory for those big plays. Because when you have a Digimon with X antibody in its traits that moves out of your breeding area, game 1 memory, draw 1. Powerful, absolutely powerful. But the main spice with this grey-haired mofo is going to be when one of your black Digimon with X antibody in its traits attacks, you may suspend this Tamer and place 1 card with X antibody in its traits from your hand underneath this Digimon, which is just so huge. Absolutely huge, because it just helps you trigger off your effects, especially when you're evoed into Ouryuken mode, because it just enables you to just get those memories back, do more shenanigans, and at this point, if your opponent's pretty much done. Your opponent is absolutely royally shafted once this combo goes down. Obviously, the main premise of this deck is that OTK, but sometimes it may not always happen. But 9 times out of 10, with this boy on deck, it's going to be finished. So really good right here, absolutely fantastic. Like I say, if you do have the board state pretty much nice, and if you do have a Ouryuken in trash, you've evolved into your Alphamon to slide it underneath, and then you've gone to Ouryuken mode, and then you've got Yuji here, and you've got 2 of your Ouryumons in hand. It's GG, boys. It's absolutely GG, boys. That is the ideal scenario for you to just claim that victory, and such a powerful combo to be had. So we do run that at 3. Ideally, to do the successful combo, you just need about 2 of these bad boys on field. So really powerful card. Then we go on to the cool boy. Seriously, all these silver-haired mofos are just in this deck. I swear to God. So, Cool Boy, broken in this deck. Like, absolutely broken. 2-cost Surge is stupid. Really stupid. Just this insecurity. Winning. This in your hand. Winning. Go on, call this boy Charlie Sheen. So, on play, reveal top 3 cards of your deck. Add one Digimon card with X antibody in its traits, and an option card with X antibody, so basically the X antibody option, amongst them into your hand, and place the rest of the bottom of your deck in any order. Really good, just fantastic. And then the main thing with this is gaining that memory and drawing 1 when you digivolve into a X antibody Digimon with the same level. So obviously we've got 2 of those conditions in the champion and the ultimate line, which just makes this stupid. You could literally just set up the plays so much that you just gain so much memory. And yeah, Cool Boy busted, absolutely broken. You want to be running this bad boy at 4. There's never a bad day when you see this guy pop out. I'm not like, oh no, I've got Cool Boy again. Never a time that goes down. But that is the deck profile. Let me know what you think. In terms of the overall deck, I honestly was like, yeah, Alphamon's alright. Actually using it, and I actually wanted to use it before making a deck profile. It's strong. It's strong. I mean, we knew this. We knew this. We knew this. I just didn't realize how strong it actually was. Granted, it does require a bit of high rolling at times, though. I feel like this deck is just mainly counter-attack clapback. Like, you could not have the source at the start, but by somehow you have that perfect combo and it's done. It's just like, what happened? It's an absolute whirlwind when you just see this boy come on the field and he's just literally cleaning up right here with his big ass battle axe. This is absolutely crazy. And then, you know, when you see this boy arriving to function, he just like, yo, DJ evolve your ass, boom, and then I'm gonna go in and start swinging. It's just crazy. It's just honestly surreal how efficient this deck strangely runs despite its actual ratios. Like I say, I still love the grade. I feel like it's a very nice card. I do like the bit of the high roll, and like it's a bit of that gacha feel, like, can I get it? And then you don't get your cards. But it is a very solid card. That end of attack is just great for control. Like, just really good for just kind of minimizing the opponent's board state to a point where they can't even come back from it, because you've just picked out some of their key components right there. And also it's a good Yuji target as well if you do have it. Yeah, there's just no bad to this card. Like, I honestly don't know why people are not running it more. I mean, I understand that, you know, the Doro Grey and the Dex Doro Greymon is the worth, and it definitely is the worth, but just having this card as a nice alternative trash option is really sick. I'm not gonna lie, really nice. But guys, that is your boy done. Hope you enjoyed the deck profile. If you did, smash me like a standard. Let me know your thoughts on this particular build, and if you're gonna give it a try, let me know how it goes. But stay safe, stay fly, keep on one for your homies, and I'll catch you in the next one. Digidread off the mic. Gorgeous.